Everything is off to the right. Feel this big knot right here? I can't even feel his left atlas. Thoracic outlet syndrome. Maybe you've heard this before?
Yeah.
Okay, there's 3 components to fixing you. 1, I got to get the bones in your neck. 2, I got to push the ribs down. 3, I got to clean the channel the nerve sits in. And so we're going to work on each component today. Ooh. So tell me, I know you said it started with a headlock, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
And celebration, somebody got you? Tell me.
Yeah, someone just grabbed me from the side and my neck went like that.
To your left, okay. Yeah, so pain in the neck, it's numbness and pain in the right shoulder blade. Show me exactly where you're feeling that.
So I have it like down into like that thoracic area, and then it comes into my shoulder, and then shoulder clicking, all that.
Gotcha. All right, have you seen your MRI? Has anybody gone over this MRI with you a little bit?
Not like in detail, I've seen it, but no.
All right, so you're looking to our left. So this is the back of your neck. This is a kind of we call it a sagittal cut of you. Your spinal cord coming down this tube. The white is fluid called cerebral spinal fluid that nourishes your spinal cord, and there should be space like here at the top. There's a gap. You know, this is the first vertebrae. This is the first vertebrae is right there. There's the atlas, and the second vertebrae is a pin that goes up into the atlas called the dens right there, and the second cervical disc is right here. So that disc looks the same as it did when you were young. There's no, on this disc right here, there's no injury. There's nothing coming close to the spinal cord. It's brand new. Same thing at C3. You know, there's a space between, and there's nothing coming out the back of C3. And then you start getting down to C4. We got a little bit coming out there. Spinal cord's having to move away a little bit, kind of like a ripple. Kind of if you turn it this way, you almost can see it. My phone would stay. I have to lock my phone. These are locked in. I like doing this sometimes. You can take the phone and see. It's supposed to be like a smooth road. I start getting like little mounds there. So notice how that peak there is the biggest.
Yep.
And that peak there is at the C5 disc. So that bulge is starting to come closer to the spinal cord. And that's what's giving you the shoulder numbness or symptoms into the upper back, upper arm is from this disc injury. Now this was taken laying down, most likely.
Yeah.
And then so I kind of, all MRIs I take are always upright because these are mechanical structures and a little bit silly to take, laying down pictures. It's like a car with a flat tire. If you lift the car in the air, the tire doesn't look so flat. If you're looking at a liver or a kidney and organ, lay down. It doesn't matter. But we're looking at the spinal column because it changes based on gravity. So a little bit of, and I read the reports, it says mild this. And you're like, well, I'm dying here. I got some real symptoms. Why does my report just say little there, little here? Well, it's because it was laying down.
Gotcha.
Saying that it actually is worse than the reports if we had an upright film. We don't need to take it, but we have to understand that these discs change based on gravity.
Yeah.
And so it probably bulges out another millimeter, comes out a little bit more when you put some weight on it. 1 second, bud. I'm going to fix your shoe. I think your shirt's in. Give me a second here. Yeah, your head's over to your left. It's like the frame of your car. If your frame's twisted, then the tires wear out unevenly. Right? If the tires aren't on straight, the tires will put more stress on one part of the tread. It's not that the tread is diseased, it's the alignment that creates that stress. So I'm looking at your alignment here, and we're dealing with about 3 inches forward. So our middle of our ear hole should be over the center of our shoulder, and the more forward your head goes, the increases interdiscal pressure in that lower neck. We want to try to work on retracting the head back, and to do that we have to not just adjust the upper neck, we also have to adjust the chest and get the chest to come in to allow your head to come back. Maybe just go slowly, look up towards the ceiling for me. Look up. Any pain when you do this?
Yeah.
Show me where.
Yeah, it runs right down into like that thoracic area.
Oh boy, okay. All right, how long have you noticed that? Has that been the same thing for about?
That's been a couple of years.
Since?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Part of that's the explanation also for why your head goes forward. Your body didn't just put your head here for fun. The joints in the spine have a lot of feeling, and so, ow! You understand? Your body puts the head forward, and then as a result of your head healing forward, there's more pressure on the disc than there was before the injury, right? So you get your neck tweaked, the joints get injured, your head compensates to take the stress off the joint. Now you've healed crooked, and now we're got an MRI where we have accelerated aging. Essentially, your mid-30s and your lower neck looks mid-50s. You understand? So there's parts of your vertebrae that are older than you are, but I was trying to show you that there's also teenage vertebrae in your spine that haven't aged at all, and that's your hope.
I get the same sensation when I look to my right as well, like that pain down my thoracic.
So, right, I'll explain that in a second. Just relax for a second. So when you tilt your head, or if you rotate your head to the right, the holes on that side get smaller. That's what I was trying to show you. Your head's over to the left. So essentially, you've been here long enough that not only has your head tilted to the left, your shoulders dropped, but now your head's, do you understand?
Yeah.
The head, we call this, in chiropractic biophysics, they have 3 phases of misalignment. The first phase is head tilt, second is, you understand, shoulder drop, and then third is the head will eventually, so I was looking at you from the center. If I take the middle of your head, it's over, like you're doing an Egyptian thing, head's off to the left. Again, it's a compensation,
I got you.
right? So you're pinching a nerve, and your body is intelligently and purposefully trying to alleviate that by moving your head around. That's not the problem. The problem is the lower neck is injured, the disc injury, and as we take the stress off that, you won't feel the need to do that, all that compensation. You'll sit up, and then let all the air out, relax your back, relax your chest. Here we go, breathe, beautiful, breathe. Head back, let all the air out, there you go. Beautiful, one more. Head back, I got you, bud. Exhale. Beautiful. All right. If you want a quiet visit, it costs double. I'm just teasing. It's discounted if you let me talk. And breathe, exhale. There you go. There you go. Oh, I got you. Breathe, exhale. Yeah, let's have for me. How that feel? You all right? Yeah. All right, here we go. Breathe for me. Let it all out. There you go. Nice. Very nice. Nice and loose. Face up for me. When your head is straight with your torso, everything is off to the right. Feel this big knot right here? I can't even feel his left atlas. I can't even feel the wing of your left atlas. It's so far sunken in. You're seeing the bone's way off to the right. I can't even feel it on the left because it's so sticking out here on the right side. I'm going to start tilting you to the right and see if I can even feel it. I don't want to pinch anymore, but I can't even. It's so far off to the right that it's almost, and this is sticking out like a sore thumb on the right. Okay. All right. Breathe and massage this for a second. So because the upper neck is not only out of alignment, but when a bone goes out of alignment, it gets really stiff, right? So the position of it allows for it to stay mobile. Because it's been misaligned for long enough, now it's most likely frozen for long enough. Now the lower neck is compensated for long enough. Do you understand? Now the lower neck is saying it's finally had enough, and that's why we're getting that symptom down the arm. Easy, easy. Right here, relax this left side a little bit. There you go. Also, let me go easy here. Real gentle. Relax, chin up. Yeah, it's all loose over here. Yeah. All right, go back to the right. The left side was almost, that bone was so far in, I couldn't push any farther in. I'm going to leave that alone, and we're going back to this right side. Oh, man. There we go. Wow, it's all, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah. Tennis ball.
Gnarly and crunchy and bumpy. Just has this kind of ripple effect. All kind of feels wavy and... So we got to create a new bend. So when I was having you look up, when you were standing, I had you look up towards the ceiling, I noticed that all the bending was happening primarily in the lower neck, and that's why the symptoms are so bad down there. The lower neck is the main functioning area of your spine, and that's why I'm working so much on your upper neck. We have to try to change where your neck is bending, and you have a habit. Essentially, your neck likes to bend in your lower neck, and we have to change that habit.
So is it possible to kind of like
restructure which guys are moving? Yeah.
Without like dealing with the numbness.
Well, we have to do it at a pace where we don't run into anything in the lower neck, and how quickly I can do it is sort of based on your feedback. You know, I take it to the edge and then back off. Where is the edge? I don't know. We have to explore that, and we'll try to see if we can test that out at the end when we're stretching. And that'll kind of give you an idea of prognosis or how long does this take. Oh, This is where you're going to pinch. That right there is what I'm worried about. And I kind of have to like be a velociraptor in a cage. I've got to figure out where the fence is. You're standing like, okay, there's the edge. I don't know where the edge is until you're
there.
Getting closer.
Yeah.
Like it's feeling it in the shoulder.
Yeah, that's like that thoracic.
All right, we got to back off a little bit. And the goal is through enough care that we can go deeper and deeper, that then I can eventually have your head pretty far to the right and we're not hitting anything. So we just back off, and I don't know. So with electrical care, kind of TENS units, or just more E-stim or lasers, what were they doing to you?
Oh man, I wish I knew all that. I mean, it's a couple different things. Yeah, I mean, I don't know all like the terminology.
But it was all kind of focused on the lower neck, right? They were trying to do something to the lower neck
and shoulder.
And shoulder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I have a kind of an alternative theory on it. I go, the area that's injured can't be helped by further treatment. It needs to just be put on vacation. I don't believe it can be adjusted in terms of it benefiting it. It's already over adjusted. My philosophy in my office is to leave it alone. Put it on vacation, give it a pina colada, and tell them take a break. And areas that you're probably not used to talking to right up here, right? You're probably not used to feeling this up here. It's not an area that you probably utilize very often, and we have to wake up all these areas to redirect the stress to a young area. Yeah, it's all coming out right pretty quickly right there. That's where the clog is. Feel all that, right? It's kind of grainy feeling. It should be just smooth like butter. Shouldn't be any of that. It's all clogged. That's gotta go down.
So is the rib why I have like issues on like the thoracic? Like why I just
Correct.
yeah, that makes sense.
Thoracic outlet syndrome. Maybe you've heard this before?
Yeah.
Okay, there's 3 components to fixing you. 1, I gotta get the bones in your neck. 2, I gotta push the ribs down. 3, I gotta clean the channel the nerve sits in. And so we're gonna work on each component today. We just adjusted the bone in the neck, we adjusted the upper back bones. We're also gonna push the ribs down, and then we're gonna gua sha and clean the channels, and we're gonna stretch at the end. And we're gonna try to open up these. It's already a funnel in the best case scenario. It's already a choke point, you understand, in normal anatomy. And then discs get injured and make the already small funnel smaller. So it's a battle that we're all fighting anyway, right? Regardless. But you can't have construction traffic in this funnel. You understand? Not a good place to have any inflammation. This is all purple in here. This is what I mean by cleaning the channels. So that this is why it'll hurt even when you're laying down. You understand? It doesn't matter if you're upright or laying down. I still feel it. I feel it all the time. That's because the actual nerves are sitting in acidity. And that's what the Chinese figured out 1,000 years ago. You can clean out that acidity by combing the tissue, and it's at least 1/3 of the component of why you have the symptom that you have. 1/3 of it is that the head's 3 inches forward. The other symptom is your upper back is locked and the ribs are elevated. You understand? And so as we work on each component, we should be able to alleviate percentage-wise some of that symptom. And then once, Eddie, I feel phenomenal, how do I never go back? And that requires orthodontistry. That's the posture change. We have to, if we don't ultimately get the ear over the shoulder, I'm not much better than a bottle of Advil.
Gotcha.
That, and it felt great for 3 days and then it's back again. And we live this depressing relationship with chiropractors. And so I tried to tell you right the first thing, your head's 3 inches forward. There's your problem. Who wants to do something about it? Who wants to start aiming that and ultimately bringing that back with the understanding that we can't do it quickly because we're going to run into stuff, as evidenced by me asking you to look up.
Correct. Exactly.
Right. So we have to. That's going to slow me down. I can't go really quickly in this. I have to go at the pace that you allow me to go at. Okay. All right. I got plenty of work to do in here. Gee whiz. Oh, man, look at all this. All right, right there. This is just a reflection of the head tilt. So because your head's tilted left, your left shoulder's elevated. You understand? That's brought up all these ribs with it. This is not a problem in and of itself. This is a reflection of the neck.
Gotcha.
So ultimately, rubbing your chest and trying to push these ribs down without getting the head back is futile, right? You have to fix the source, which is the neck. But that doesn't mean that we can't loosen this up in order to push the chest in and help bring and retract the head back. This is all soft on here in your right middle, relatively. This is soft. This is where it's all hard. Again, this is a reflection of the neck, but the tightness here is going to cause a left avoidance, a right abuse, right sciatica, right knee, right piriformis, right iliotibial. All of this is going to happen because it's still this guy. This is the cause.
Well, you nailed it. I run a lot, and I've had some issues with my right knee.
Yes, sir.
And I've never had that before until somewhat recently.
It'll be right foot flare. Essentially, you'll see your toes flaring on your right foot, and that puts more stress on your medial meniscus and causes knee wearing problems. But it's if my dad walked in, he'd pat me on the back. Go, that's right, that's right. Keep working on the back, Eddie. Just keep working on the back. Okay, but yeah, right here, it's pretty immense. Right there. Has anybody found this before? No, not so much.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, didn't think so. Okay. And there's some. I'm not saying it's perfect over here either, but yeah, it's about half the size. Right there. There it is. He thought I wasn't going to find it. I found it. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Yeah, I'd love if you could soak in some Epsom salts. Essentially, you overutilize this side. You're overworking your right side because you're in left avoidance in your back, and so when we're standing or when we're running, this side's under more stress while we're doing any activity. And until we get this guy back in the game, then the right's going to be overstressed.
So on the topic of running, I should be not doing that?
Well, I mean, we want to get the frame straightened. Yeah, it's like if you keep driving cross country with a tires on, if the alignment's not right, then we're going to wear the spine out. And that's why I asked you earlier if you had a lumbar MRI, because sometimes whatever happens here mirrors itself here, right? So how to advise you, like I said earlier, you can't feel the discs, so the discs can be injured until we're hitting something. You know, we really don't know. I got you. Okay, good. Good, there you go. Very nice. You okay? All right, good, good. Arch back, here we go. All right. Yeah, there we go, good, very nice. Arms down for me, you okay?
Yep.
Very good, okay. Breathe for me. There we go, okay, all right. This essentially gets worn out. You're gonna overstress this muscle here, vastus medialis, that then puts too much stress on the medial meniscus. That's because your toes are flaring too much, because there's a piriformis contraction, because you're pinching this, because your middle back's tight, because your head's forward, because your atlas is sticking out on the right side. Ooh. That's not nice. Yeah, I got you. I totally expected that. That was normal. A little bit to the right, if we can handle that. You okay? Yeah. Just a little bit of, because remember that knot's bigger on the right upper part of your neck, and so just a little bit of right so that it feels like you're crooked and that there's more pressure on the right. I would think of it doing it like that about a month, you know, and just then having reevaluate it, or, you know, like I said, I can't even feel your left atlas. It's so when you tilt your head left, the bones all shift to the right, okay? So if everybody at home wants to just sort of put your hands on your neck, tilt your head left, and you'll feel everything become more pronounced on the right side. Do you understand? Now if you walk around with your head tilted, it makes you dizzy. So you did this. Do you understand? Your right shoulder dropped, your left shoulder elevates. That's what pops up all those ribs on that left side. Do you understand? Because you got to keep this avoidance of the joint injury you had on the right side. But you have plenty of life left of your spine. We just, you know, like I said, you have a mid 50-year-old lower neck. Okay, it's okay. Could be worse. I've seen way worse. I've seen a 20-year-old with a 70-year-old lower neck. You understand? I've seen worse. Just you don't want to. If you stay on this trajectory, by the time you're 55, it's going to look 100, right? And so then, what do you do with that? Well, when I want to put a rod in your neck, that's when they operate on people. And so we don't want to stay on this path that we're on. And the dental, these pieces of foam are retainers, like an orthodontist gives a person to retain the change that the orthodontist makes, so that there's a level of, you know, it holds. Chiropractors usually use that term, your adjustment didn't hold. Well, if you're not doing any stretching, there's no possibility of it holding, right? We have to be doing stretching and molding. The adjustment is necessary. It's a component of care. We have to make the spine limber, and we have to make it move where it's not moving so that the stretching is safe.